On November 24th, 1971, Thanksgiving Eve, a mysterious man in a black suit and dark sunglasses walked into Portland International Airport. He identified himself as Dan Cooper and quietly purchased a one-way ticket to Seattle on Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305. What seemed like an ordinary business trip would soon become one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. Cooper boarded the Boeing 727 and settled into seat 18C. He appeared calm, polite, and utterly forgettable until he handed a folded note to a flight attendant. Assuming it was just another flirtatious message, she tucked it away. Cooper leaned in and whispered, "Miss, you'd better read that. I have a bomb." From that moment on, the tone of the flight changed completely. In his briefcase, Cooper revealed wires and red cylinders, enough to convince the crew he meant business. His demand was simple yet chilling: $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle for a getaway. The crew notified the cockpit. The pilots followed instructions while authorities scrambled to meet the hijackers' demands. By the time the plane landed in Seattle, darkness had fallen. FBI agents, under immense pressure, handed over the cash: $200,000 in marked sequential bills and parachutes. True to his word, Cooper released the 36 passengers unharmed, keeping only the crew on board. What happened next would cement his place in legend. The plane took off again under Cooper's command, heading toward Mexico City, flying low at 10,000 feet with flaps partially deployed to slow the aircraft. Somewhere over the thick forests of southwestern Washington, possibly near Ariel, Cooper opened the rear air stair and leaped into the night with a parachute and a bag of cash. No one saw him jump. No body was ever found. He vanished into the storm, the woods, the sky. In the years that followed, the FBI launched an extensive manhunt. They combed through forests, rivers, and thousands of suspect files. Nothing. The case became known as the only unsolved air piracy in commercial aviation history. For decades, people obsessed over the mystery. Was Cooper a professional skydiver, a Vietnam veteran, an insider who knew the Boeing 727's unique rear stair could be opened mid-flight? Then, in 1980, a breakthrough. An 8-year-old boy digging along the banks of the Columbia River near Vancouver, Washington, discovered 3 bundles of cash buried in the sand, totaling $5,800. The bills matched the ransom money. But Cooper was still gone, and the discovery raised more questions than answers. How did the money get there? Did Cooper die in the jump, or did he fake his own death? As years passed, the suspect list grew longer. A former paratrooper with a criminal past, a Vietnam vet with secret training, even a woman who believed her uncle confessed to the crime on his deathbed. In 2016, the FBI finally closed the case, admitting they could not solve the mystery without new concrete evidence. But the legend refused to die. Then came the unexpected twist. A retired commercial pilot in Nevada passed away in 2020, leaving behind a box in his attic labeled Dan Cooper. Inside were photos, flight manuals, and a boarding pass from Flight 305, with his name scratched out and Dan Cooper typed over it. The handwriting matched known samples. A faded parachute training certificate was tucked beneath a map of the flight path. Investigators privately reopened the case. The documents, verified by experts, connected the dots. The man had parachute experience, flew similar aircraft, and had a motive: a bankrupt business and a hidden past. It was him. The quiet, aging pilot had outsmarted the world and lived free for nearly 50 years. The mystery was no longer about how he vanished, but how he managed to live among us all along. Cooper didn't just jump into the night, he jumped into legend. And for nearly 5 decades, the sky held its breath until the final confession, scribbled in an old pilot's journal, whispered the truth at last.